Hey guys, I want to do another quick video hopefully on the markets and some of the sectors that are doing well. Hopefully you've been watching my videos because I've been talking about this downtrend for a while. Especially got down below the 50-day moving average, broke an uptrend, and now we blew below the 200-day as well and sort of failed a couple times off the 50. This is S&P 500. I also have down here price percent oscillator, which is momentum, like MACD. And when you're below the zero line here, that's usually not a good spot to be getting in terms of an uptrend. But they are usually low points, but it can often fail when you're down in that area. So I've also got stochastics for oversold and overbought kind of section. Relative strength, I compare it to the Nasdaq, so you can see here that S&P was doing better than the Nasdaq for a couple of months or so. So anyway, as far as this chart goes, the way I look at stuff is when the things are in an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows like this, this developed a higher low here, and then that resolved the uptrend. But here we've got an, I'll turn on the drawing here. I draw this line to show that we've extended this downtrend. So we saw this big, huge candle here, reversal, and that can be a reversal. So for people that are trying to buy dips and things, that that might be good for them. But I need to establish, an uptrend before I get in. And one way you can do that is look at the weekly chart. And you can see that right now we broke down below the 50, and this momentum is heading downward. So it's not a good time to get in. These red volatility stops are kind of indicators of when you should go long or short. So it kind of helps you as well. And they can be, in some cases, just pullbacks, little pullbacks. But, these are things you can ride for quite a while. So if we look at the Dow Jones, similar situation, down below the 200, momentum is down here. So this is not, this is not an area that I like to get into. I want to see an established uptrend. Nasdaq. Oh yeah, so what I want to mention is right now I'm seeing the pre-market. So if you want to get a free trial or $25 off purchase of TC2000, which is the program I'm using here, you can. It's installed on your desktop, but there's also a mobile application. I've got the gold plan and US real-time data, and I've got watch lists and all sorts of custom scans and stuff like that. So if you want to get a free trial, check out the link in the description below. Thanks to everybody who's already picked up a copy and signed up for a membership. If we look at the Nasdaq, it's even worse situation because tech selling off with the interest rates potentially going to be rising, and they've gone up quite a bit, and so there's a bit of a move towards value stocks, I guess you could say. But what I'm looking for is an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, above the ideally above the 50-day, and in an uptrend like this. IWM is a Russell 2000, so we had a long consolidation period, and now we've broken down. See these lower highs? You can see each time we bounce off the sort of the trend, and so you want to get in back here. And we had this long support, and then it broke it, and so there was a big push the other day, but that it takes more than that to get out of this scenario. So I want to see higher lows and a break through this downtrend. And finally, I'll just take a look at the TSX in Canada. A very choppy section here, and we kind of bounced off this low support. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens, but it needs to get back up above the 50 and probably clear this spot as well. So if we look at the sectors right now, this is the pre-market again. So up here on the TC2000, there's this thing, if you want to look at the pre-market, or you can just show regular hours. And you don't see the pre-market for every stock or ETF. It depends, you know, if it's tradable during that period of time. But like the Canadian ones won't have that for sure. But and then you can look at stocks that inside of each ETF. But if we look at things that are going up right now in the morning here, it's a lot of commodities. Soybeans, that's been looking really good. I've talked about this before, but corn is generally in an uptrend. Uranium is just about to break. It's above the 50 and it's just right at the 200. So it might have a bit of work to do, but you know, we're getting to that point with a higher low here that it might start, you know, that could start another uptrend. But we have like RJA and commodities. The other thing I wanted to talk about, gold, is looking good. Now the question is whether it'll last or if it'll just fade away if the Russian, you know, the issue over there and gets resolved. Silver, we're right at that point. It's just about to break over the 200. But the 50 is still below. It's got to, you know, probably got to cross over. But this looks good too. Gold junior miners, you know, it's right at the 200, so it's close. One area that is in the tech area, but is cybersecurity, which, you know, with all the hacking and stuff, you know, that area has picked up a bit, but it's kind of close to potentially, if we draw a line here, you know, we've broken through that. We can go to weekly chart, and it did have a huge pullback, but now we're kind of getting back above the 50 on the weekly, and this momentum is crossing almost at zero. So that might be one to check out. If I click on this checkbox for scan, I've got a chart that looks at things that are above the 50, and it depends, you know, weekly or daily chart. So I can switch this to a daily chart. And, you know, you can see COPX, which is copper, gold, uranium, silver. So these are a bunch of sector ETFs that I've put into my own watch list. But if you click on watch list here, you can just pick ETFs or US stocks, stuff like that. And then look at all the, but I kind of filter them for ones that I like. And then when you're inside the copper ETF, you can click on Freeport McMoran, for example, FCX, if you want to pick a specific stock. So this scan kind of filters out a lot of the junk in terms of like finding things that follow my particular, you know, pattern that I'm looking for. So it's all commodities right now, pretty much. And, you know, but if you uncheck that and you want to look at other things, let's say, I'll just go down to the bottom. Cannabis, you know, just in a big downtrend here. Bitcoin is still below the, you know, moving downward and below the 50, 200, etc. Jets is a travel that's not looking great. The genomics, it's still in a big downtrend here. So some people, you can see the momentum here starting to come up, but it comes up and goes back down. So, you know, it's tricky to figure out when that's going to bottom. Like it starts to have these little, but, you know, wait, as long as it's below the 50 is in this, it's not even in an uptrend at all. So semiconductors, same sort of scenario. You'd want to see it break out of this downtrend here. You know, it's got this terrible situation here. But some people buy down here at the low spot. See how there's a low, and they, that could end up being the low. But I don't want to try to guess where that is, so I wait for there's a downtrend. I wait for an uptrend to establish. All right, that's it. If you want to pick up TC2000 software that I have here, check out the link in the description, and we'll see you in the next video.